There's this onion cutting technique that the internet likes to call the Michelin Star Cut, and I think I can do better.
See, recently I ranked every way to cut an onion, and in that process, I created the polar trim mince. At the moment, it only has potential. It's faster, but the final product is inferior to the Michelin Star Cut. So, today my mission is simple. Improve my method until it's simply the best way to mince an onion. To start, let me show you the Michelin Star method. Quarter your onion, trim from the root end, peel off a couple layers, finally slice, and mince. Now here's the original polar trim. Have your onion, trim off the curved sides, make thin slices, flip onto its side, and mince. Both methods took about a minute, but the polar trim mince produced over 4 times the amount of minced onions. However, you can clearly see how much finer the fine dining method is. So let's improve the polar trim.
Well, in the process of reshooting footage from my previous video, like 4 times, I've made a few edits.
Only trim off one side before making the vertical cuts. Leaving the other side on increases the surface area in contact with the cutting board, making these cuts easier. Once you reach the other side, cut through the root to trim. The geometry of an onion also creates a couple issues. First, the outer layers and the inner core are simply different sizes, so we remove the core. Second, the layers are curved, so if you made straight cuts, the curvature of an onion will create inconsistent sizes, so we cut along the arc of the onion. As it turns out, an onion is an onion. You know, there's not much room for optimization here, and by V4, the method was pretty refined. Every new step I tried adding in pursuit of quality came at the expense of simplicity, and I didn't want the method to require a flowchart to use, so with a few iterations without clear improvements, I decided to focus on knife skills instead, and it worked. By focusing on making each cut as delicately as possible, I had onions comparable to the Michelin Star Cut. But I had still spent the entire week trying to improve my technique with something I didn't come up with before starting this video. And then, caveman brain said, why do much when few good? I know I'm playing Strauss right now like it's the discovery of fire, but this is actually the dumbest solution possible. But first, let me explain the problem. Well, the whole point of this video was to match the quality of the Michelin Star Cut, and the primary way to do so would be trimming off the larger or uneven parts of the onion. However, trimming is really bad. Of course, more trim is more waste, and the added step increases complexity, but trimming also means less onion, less surface area, less stable. And finally, the main advantage over the fine dining mince was the greater quantity of onions processed at once. I said less onion means less stable, but less onion also means less onion. Yeah, that was the solution. I said it was dumb. Here's the final method. Have your onion, trim off one side, thin slices, flip, mince, and if you care about the finest quality mince, split the pile of onions. See, the larger layers are all adjacent, so if you just process all the onion, the elongated pieces are all in the same part of the pile. No trimming needed, just fix it in post. My favorite phrase. So, when is the polar trim mince better than the fine dining mince? Well, I heard you like flowcharts. In the end, both methods take about the same amount of time to cut, but the polar trim is about 3 times more efficient to produce mince of the highest quality, and over 4 times more efficient to produce a less stringent but still fine mince. Okay, yay, my method wins! Subscribe!